Good morning, everyone. This is Michelle from Divine by Michelle. And today we're going to be talking about stuff. How much stuff do you have? How much stuff do you own? How much stuff do you move around, shift, take care of? The reason I want to talk about this is because recently we just talked about balance. And when we looked at balance, we looked at what we're doing in our day, what our tasks were, if we balance them with fun, these kinds of things. And I recently spoke to a client and a family member, and it just brought to light to me a reminder of how your stuff, what you own, what you feel you have to own, ends up owning you in a sense. So, for an example, if you have, a 2-story house, a big yard, a garage, a couple cars, even if you don't have that much. But if you have all of that, this example will show you how your stuff owns you. So you definitely are either paying rent or paying your mortgage. You most likely are having to take care of the roof, the windows, making sure things don't leak, weatherizing things, yard work, mowing, trimming the edges, garden, maybe you have a garden or flowers, taking care of weeds and sidewalks. And you have a garage, so upkeep on the garage, just like the house. And if you have cars in the garage, you have care for the cars, you have car payments, or maybe you own your car, you have car insurance, you have house insurance, or renter's insurance. Maybe you have people that manage your lawn, so you have lawn care that you pay for. Or maybe you do it all yourself, and then you buy more pots and more flowers and more seeds for your garden, and then you're managing the garden, watering all the time, and collecting the fruits of your labors, and maybe you can food or somehow harvest and store your food. And this sounds pretty amazing. It sounds pretty great, actually, but it all comes down to what's true for you, what's balanced for you. Is your happiness based on taking care of things? I know I've gone through times in my life where I've had a garden, I've had the house, I've had the garage, I've had apartments, I've had all these kinds of things. And when I didn't have them, there were times where I was like, gosh, I'm glad I don't need to take care of that. It's just not something I need to worry about. Someone else is handling that. And sometimes it's just your financial situation is great, and so it's easy to manage these things, to delegate. And sometimes it is that we enjoy the gardening, or we enjoy having the fresh fruits and vegetables, or maybe you enjoy mowing your lawn or doing projects around the house, taking care of, things that end up not working in your house. So the reason I brought this up in relation to balance is, have a look at all your stuff and make sure that this is stuff that you want to be letting your attention go to. So is the house stuff, is the car stuff, is the yard stuff, the garden stuff, all things that you want your attention on. And when your attention is on them, is it positive attention that you're giving to those things? Is it, oh, I love seeing those flowers as I walk in my beautiful home, or I love mowing the lawn because I'm outside and I'm basically in nature and I'm taking care of my lawn, and I love the smell of fresh cut lawn. And that's something that I worked hard to have. Is it that kind of feeling, or is it an anxiety of outcomes that related to financial? I don't have the money to take care of this big house. I don't have the time because I work a certain amount of hours that I can't take care of the lawn. I can't take care of the garden or the flowers or the leaky roof or these kinds of things. So is all your stuff and the attention that you're putting towards your stuff positive or negative? Is it in balance, or are you just collecting stuff so that you have stuff, in a sense, trying to take care of your feelings of lack or potential lack or anxiety of outcomes? Some of us have many homes. Some of us have rental homes and properties that we may vacation to, or have family gatherings at, or that are just used as a financial part of building abundance. And sometimes we focus very much on building abundance. And this may stem from a lack, a feeling of potential lack that you might have grown up with, or a feeling of security for having all of these things or these properties. And I'm not saying one is good or bad. I'm just saying have a look at if this is in balance with you. Sometimes we do these things based on a belief that this will bring us some security, and maybe it gave us some financial sense of security, because there's always things that happen that are unexpected in life, in our lifetimes. And so maybe that you have properties based on that, or you fill your house with items, things, and they help you to feel secure. They help you to feel like you have something. But then your attention is always on them. So I recently spoke to someone that is just becoming aware of how lovely it is to feel free and not attached to a significant other, not attached to being able to do whatever they want when they wake up in the morning. You know, maybe they're retired and they have freedom every day. They may have financial abundance, and they've set that up through these things or stuffs or property. And now that they have all this stuff, what they're really finding they want is freedom. They want to wake up and do whatever they want, but now they are obligated. They have responsibilities to 5 different properties, to mow the lawns, to do the maintenance on the rentals, to now deciding to sell the properties because they don't want, they want freedom. They don't want, their balance now is going to be that they just want more freedom and not to worry about creating abundance or a sense of security, or even question if that's a false sense of security, and if it was built on a fear of lack in the beginning. And then if you are the kind of person that likes stuff all around you, have a look at if that's just a sense of security for having your stuffs, but pay attention to what you're doing with all those things. So if it's animals, like we talked about previously in the balance video, animals are very, very loving unconditionally and wonderful to have, and I have several. But it can be a question whether you want freedom more than the caretaking or the tasks that you do to care for animals. Maybe you have a farm and you have a lot of animals, and your daily life is caring for gardens and or big farms and animals. Is that still your wish? Is that the balance for you to still have this lifestyle where all day you are taking care of providing for yourself in that way? Or do you prefer to do some other kind of work and go to the store and pay for your food? And if you have a lot of stuff in your house, I'm coming back to this, think about how energy moves. So if you are attached to all your stuff, if you are fixed, if your energy is fixed on you have to have stuff, I hope that it is things that bring you joy and that allows you to still be in balance in your life and true to yourself, keeping in mind what you really, finding out what you really, really want, and that there is energy flow through your house, good feng shui, not stuff just to have stuff. I've gone through times in my life where I've just had so much stuff, and it may come from a lack perspective, or it may have come from, I have an awesome family and they are very good at giving gifts. So I've collected a lot of stuff. I had collections of stuff that I didn't enjoy at a certain point. Initially I did. And then when I had to move, then I didn't like having all that stuff to move. And another thing to think about is, if it's not bringing you joy, what is it doing for you? Collecting dust, creating not good energy flow through your house because it's just more stuff. Consider giving things away. Consider going through everything and say, does this bring me joy? Do I have this just because of a memory? Because you can always take a picture of something and have an image on your cell phone or wherever you want of the item without actually having the item. If the item's very sentimental to you, reminds you of a family member or an event, consider keeping that item. If you haven't used it in a year, consider getting rid of it. Same with clothes, kitchen items. And think about it as what you own owns you. So if you were to move, this is a good test, self-test. If you were to move, would you keep everything that you currently have in your place where you're living? Or would you be frantically trying to pack and go through everything? Or would you pack everything and then move it and then unpack it and say, I don't want this. Why am I taking this? And when we do move, if we move, there's energy kind of attached to your things. So your state of mind, your state of being, your amount of light you hold, your amount of lack you pay attention to, all of that is kind of being held in your stuff. And especially if you've had it for 4 years and you aren't being progressive about your self revelation and expansion and growing spiritually. And when you move, if you take those things, I've been told by my guidance that these things are going to carry this situation with you. It'll carry the energies of these things. Just like buying something from secondhand, you may be taking on some part of the energy that thing, that stuff has stored from another person. And I've had experiences with antiques and things like that, where you may be inviting an energy of another identity into your home. And this is not a scary thing. This can be a fine thing, but just pay attention to your stuff. Not in that I want you to take all your attention, put it on your stuff. In that, what is your stuff taking from you on a daily basis? Is it allowing you freedom? Is it bringing you joy? Is it useful? Is it bring back a good memory every time you look at it or walk by it? Is it a collection that you have outgrown that no longer brings you joy? Is it a collection of broken items that you're going to one day fix that is causing just a string of attachment of energy that says, I gotta fix these, I gotta fix these, I gotta fix these, and just never happens. That's just pulling your attention. So an idea would be, go through each room of your house. Does this bring me joy? Why am I keeping this? Am I using this? And from a design perspective, ideally, everything in your whole house, your whole place you live, would bring you joy and would not be a bunch of work and would not be broken and pulling at your attention as an item to do. It would be free, clear energy moving through your house. So if you are a hoarder, please consider getting rid of some stuff just for your own health. Clear energy moving through your space, clearing your mind, helping your health. Clear out any dark corners, clear out any stagnant areas. Let the energy to move through, open your doors and windows, let fresh air move through. And if you're living in a 5-bedroom house and it's just you and you just still live there and your kids are gone, consider if that's what you really want. Do you want a 1-bedroom house or a 1-bedroom apartment? Do you want to travel the world and you're feeling stuck because you have to maintain your place, your properties? You have to maintain some kind of lifestyle that is no longer who you are. A lot to consider. May you be free and happy. Thank you for listening.